Hey everyone, Loaded Buggy here, back with another Call of Duty commentary for you, and we have a real special video for you today. We have I think it's only the second dual commentary I've done on this channel ever, but this is a very exciting one for me because it's one of my first YouTube connections that I made as a part of this journey, and that's my new friend, WhyLearn. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Yep. How's it going? Thanks, Buggy. WhyLearn here, and thanks for having me on today. This is actually my first dual com that I've done in probably 15 years. So last time I did this, I couldn't legally drive for sure. But yeah, to give just an introduction, I kind of grew up on a lot of these old Call of Duties. MW2 was my first Call of Duty. Loved playing zombies, loved dropping nukes, even though I've never really been that good. I got into the trick shotting community and kind of making like trick shotting episodes, kind of like Phase and Dare, although obviously never even got close to those. And then Black Ops 2, like right after that, I kind of stopped getting the CODs as, kind of life takes over. University it happened, and then I came back to gaming during Fortnite and then Warzone, and I'd say COVID got me like really back into playing some of these games. But I've always noticed that I like the old Call of Duties better than the new ones. So I just found video games just a great way to connect with friends and meet people, obviously, and just kind of relax and in a more healthy way than I used to play these games. I mean, I think I have like 60 to 70 playing hours on just MW2, so completely addicted to that game back in my heyday.
It's funny how much our gaming history kind of overlaps a bit. I definitely have a very similar Call of Duty story and gaming story as you. Don't quite have 60 days played on MW2.
Oh, it's a problem, man.
But I definitely I love me some MW2, and I will say that for my viewers, it is probably just as euphoric and weird to hear WhyLearn's voice on this channel after watching so many of his videos these past few months. So big shout out to him. He's absolutely killing it in the YouTube game. So before we even jump into this commentary, go ahead and click over to WhyLearn's channel and give him a subscribe if you haven't already. But I think the setup that you had given was a perfect segue leading into the topic that I had planned for us today, and it is simply, why can't I move on? And especially from gaming, man, like you and me seem to be just on the same wavelength when it comes to Call of Duty, and we always go back to the games we can trust. And I'm really curious as to why you think that maybe the past or just those old Call of Duties keep us from really wanting to let go of them. Like, what do you think the charm and the attraction is, and why we keep going back to them?
Yeah, so I think when it comes down to it, a couple things with these old games, they're very simple, but at the time they were revolutionary. So you think of, COD 4, I believe, was the first to have create a class, and then you have World at War had zombies, and then Modern Warfare 2 had custom kill streaks, and you could go for nukes, and then a whole nother community, and then you had Black Ops, and in Black Ops you could customize your weapon or your emblem and make inappropriate emblems, and then all that stuff was so memorable that it was like every Call of Duty like stepped up to bat with a new innovation, and I think that's what made them memorable. But they're still simple and easy to understand with a menu that only had 3 options instead of 68 options, and I think it's that. And then kind of the second point is I think the time in our lives could be why we also hold these games to such high regard, where it's just we had no responsibilities. For me, I was in 7th grade when MW2 came out, so I would just go home and play Call of Duty and talk trash to a bunch of adults with jobs and responsibilities. Now I am one of those adults with jobs and responsibilities, so it's kind of come full circle. But that's kind of what I think. How about you?
I agree, and I think the lack of innovation is definitely a point where they kind of lost me, and they tend to lean more into the microtransactions in the modern Call of Duties, and definitely are recycling a lot of material. I know with the new MW3, they have pretty much only or a majority of old maps just recycled and reused, and I think it's just kind of become a problem where they're either trying to really play to people's nostalgia of the old Call of Duties, and on top of that, just try to get them to buy skins as opposed to trying to actually make the games better. And they really have such a focus on Warzone, where I think the multiplayer, which is where I personally love. I love arena shooters, which is why I enjoyed X Defiant for a bit whenever it came out. And I don't really enjoy Warzone as much, but they don't put the effort they used to into the multiplayer of these modern games.
No.
Like they used to, and I just think it's losing its charm of what it once had.
Yeah, I think kind of going back to Warzone, that was, I thought, they kind of copied it from Fortnite to an extent, where Fortnite got super popular and everyone was doing battle royales. And I thought like was it when you die, you go to the gulag? I thought that was
Yeah.
that was innovative and that was cool. And Warzone brought Call of Duty back to life for a little bit of time, but I think without Warzone, maybe Call of Duty would have just died. I don't know. Like the multiplayer is not keeping it going, as you said.
Yeah, and I wonder if that would have been for the better of the consumer.
Yeah.
I often think, did Warzone do more good or more harm for Call of Duty as a franchise? Because on one hand, it definitely was a revival for the series, but on the other hand, it's definitely leaned more into the making money aspect as opposed to the enjoyment of the consumer.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Warzone's fun. It's like it gets really intense towards the end, but there's not. Depending on how you play, it could be like a slow gameplay too. Especially if you're more like of a camper and you're trying to win because you're not good enough. Like me, I have to camp, otherwise I won't even come close to winning. So.
We are one and the same there. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I was thinking about, at least in terms of what I had written down on my notes, was I feel like a lot of modern, especially Call of Duty and the Battle Pass specifically, and that obviously carries over to other games, it can often feel like a chore for me. Like initially, whenever I'll buy a Battle Pass on a game, I'm excited and it makes me want to play. But by the time that a new season rolls around, I feel like I'm obligated to play, and then it loses the fun factor for me. Whereas the old Call of Duties, I just enjoyed the process of leveling up and unlocking new stuff, but I just don't feel that same way with the battle passes. I'm interested as to what you think.
Yeah, for me, like the concept of going and getting the fall camo on the intervention or something like that was like peak living. That was a good time. It's just the battle pass. I don't know. There's something just gone from that. Like it's a weird way to keep you to get playing, or to keep you playing, and then also a lot of like the microtransactions and that kind of thing. I don't know. It's not the direction I would like to see it. I think as an old Call of Duty player.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think it's laziness on the design aspect? Because it's weird, because a lot of what's in the Battle Pass is the same stuff that we used to grind for back in the days, which is camos and new guns. But for some reason, the fact that I have to pay for it and then it's a timed thing, that makes it a little bit less attractive for me. And I'm interested as to what you think in terms of why that may have a different charm or have no charm at all in terms of modern.
I think it's it's a business decision on their end. That I understand that they're a company just trying to make money, and that's a way to do it. Get these players to strive for these new challenges, but it's just like a little bit less rewarding. And maybe that's because I just don't have the passion for the new ones the way I used to. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's hard to put it in words, kind of like why we like the older ones so much better than these. I think here's another one that I think skill-based matchmaking too kind of stinks.
Yuck. Yep.
Yeah, because some of my friends are like they're really good players with these modern CODs, and if I'm playing with them, I will get just slapped around because I'm nowhere near that level. So I literally have to play by myself to get like noobs, people who suck, so I can actually have a chance.
I'd be right there with you. We would be the perfect duo, because we would have to get into the noob lobbies to have any fun.
Yeah.
But I think too.
Nukes. You think I can get a 30 kill streak all gun? Come on. I need to get a 7 Harrier chopper gunner nuke, baby.
Oh yeah, we need carried the whole way through. Man, I think at the end of the day, it just kind of all loops back to our favorite word, and that's nostalgia. I think the fact that we grew up playing these games makes all the difference.
Yeah, there was just simpler times back then. A lot of it, like I said earlier, it's just you have school, then you ride your bike home, and you're just hanging out playing basketball. You don't got to pay bills. You don't have to drive anywhere. You just play Call of Duty and go out and hang out. That was all it was back then. Pizza rolls in the oven. Life is good.
Yeah, I
Life is
agree.
so good now.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
totally is.
yeah,
Things have changed, but
yeah.
those were definitely the good old days, or at least
Oh
one
yeah,
of the good old days.
exactly.
Well, hey, I want to thank you so much for coming on my channel. It's a great honor for us to finally do the collab that we've been talking about for some time now, and I'm
Yeah,
really excited for us to do more of these in the future. So thank you very much for coming on
yeah.
WhyLearn.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, and we'll definitely do more of these. I think these will be a good staple for our channels for the future.
Absolutely. And once again, if you guys have not subscribed to WhyLearn already, there's going to be a link in the description for you guys to go ahead and do that. He makes some great content over there, and I highly suggest that you blindly click the subscribe button before you even watch a
Yeah.
video, because it will not be a waste of your time.
Yeah, don't even think about it. Just blindly subscribe. Yeah.
Alrighty, one. Thank you
I
for watching this
appreciate it.
video, and thanks for joining me, WhyLearn.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Peace out, everyone.
Thanks everyone for watching this video. If you enjoy this type of content from me or from WhyLearn, please click the subscribe button on our respective channels. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed this video, and if you have any comments about this commentary or suggestions on topics for future commentaries, leave those in the comment section below. Thanks everyone. Bye now.